Now it's time for our sponsor perspective portion of our program. Please welcome Mark Newton, Head of Corporate Sustainability at Samsung Electronics America, in conversation with Joe Ruffalo, General Manager of The Hill.
Morning, Mark. Thank you so much for being here today.
Morning, Joe. Thanks for the opportunity.
Sure. Why don't we just jump right in and tell us a little bit about what Samsung's doing for its strategy around sustainability and what some of your goals are.
Sure. So sustainability, for us, it's a business imperative. You know, it's really, if you think about it, our business is a three-legged stool, right? We're focused on the financial health of our business. We're focused on our customers and our employees. And we also have to be focused on some things that are, let's say, externalities that maybe aren't very well characterized. And if we don't focus on all of those three very carefully, we're not going to be able to sit on the stool, right? So it's a big part. And the other big part for us is we're an innovation engine. And sustainability for us is really a lens for innovation. It helps us to develop breakthrough products that we try to focus on without any compromise in terms of performance. So our biggest sort of North Star approach towards this is a commitment to net zero carbon by 2050 for our entire business worldwide. And that sounds pretty far out there, but for a company like ours, as diverse as ours, with semiconductors and consumer electronics, it's really, I think, a very challenging target. And we've pulled that even further for our equipment business, which are a lot of the products that you all know. So our networking, our consumer electronics, our display business, our mobile products, and the home appliances, including the most efficient home appliances, which are now hopefully going to be available to consumers even more broadly through the Inflation Reduction Act incentives.
That's great. Can you share more about Samsung's sustainability efforts and how other companies can take note and hold themselves accountable as well?
Sure. You know, I think that what's really important for how it works for us is not to lose sight of the G in ESG, you know, the governance part of it. It's critical. So being able to set very clear goals, having accountability towards those goals, and a sensing mechanism for how those things are going and corrective actions in order to correct those. That's true in our own operations as well as in our supply chain. So that's extremely important. Another really important aspect is partnerships and collaboration. And so events like this, which are sort of the tip of the spear, and all the stuff that happens underneath that in order to get us to a place like this, to use our voice. Building trust is essential for us to be successful and to engage our customers. And that brings into the last piece, which is really a customer focus. Delivering our products without compromise, at the same time bringing our customers along.
How does the energy efficiency of tech products really contribute to climate mitigation?
Well, you know, it's as much the stuff that you see as the stuff you don't see. You know, think about all the semiconductors and memory products that we build that go into all of the products that we're used to, and we don't really even think about what's inside of them. The memory products that are powering the cloud, that are enabling AI and 5G, the network equipment that is connecting our country, underserved parts of our population to have the connectivity and raise productivity. These are all things that are in the background. And that's sort of the first level of impact, and it's much larger than things that we can do on our own with our own equipment. On top of that, the industries that are served by that, right? The cloud sector, storage sector, agriculture, some very important sectors in terms of climate impact, we're helping to drive efficiencies through our products as well. And then lastly, with the consumer, trying to make efficiency as ubiquitous and invisible as possible. I mean, it should really be like I think a gift with purchase. And it should go across all price points. It shouldn't just be on the ones with the highest margins and, you know, and the flagship products. And so that's our philosophy, and that's what helps us to drive our product roadmap.
You mentioned a couple, but what role does technology play in helping other industries with their sustainability goals?
Well, I think I touched on that just now. Some things to think about. I think when companies are getting involved in this, there is an initial rush to talk about all the great things that you're doing, right? I think that that's good, but then building trust, I think, is the most important aspect. And so besides the governance aspect I talked to before, if you don't bring everyone else along and you do it in a credible and transparent way, then you're not going to be able to have the public confidence that you need with the investment community, with your consumers, and with your business partners to actually make change. Greenwashing is the root of all evil here, overstating what it is you're able to do, right? Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. Yeah, thank you. Under promising and over delivering. That's what we're all trying to do here. But at the same time, green hushing is the opposite problem. And so we all need to use our voice, and we all need to work together here. And that's really, I think, finding that balance in between the two to have a credible discussion with consumers and stakeholders is what's important.
The Inflation Reduction Act was a big step forward for the climate, but what else do you think that policymakers here today and others listening should be focusing on next?
Well, I think that the Inflation Reduction Act is really the thing that's going to help us to deliver real impact to this country in a way that hasn't been done before. I mean, $8.8 billion put into our sector to help to drive efficiency in ways that has never been done before. So I think that that's really important, and lining up our products like our induction cooktops, our heat pump dryers and AC systems, and then also being able to leverage some of the AI and connectivity opportunities that we have, like with our SmartThings products, and I think it's really going to what's going to accelerate the opportunity with the IRA. Going forward with that, though, it's really all about using that in order for us as a society to move forward in a more efficient way. And so all those other things around transition to renewables, circularity, and avoiding waste, those are all really key initiatives, and they all roll up into a larger carbon strategy that we have.
How can companies eliminate potential barriers for consumers to live sustainability? Affordability is obviously one of those, but what else could be done?
Well, I think we need to make it easy, right? I talked about it as a gift with purchase. It really has to be, first of all, easy. And so if we go back to the RA, this can't be complicated. We talked about how it's going to be, implemented by the states. If that's done in a way which is inconsistent, then it's going to be very confusing for consumers to be able to adopt that. So that's one of the reasons why we're a big proponent for driving harmony into the implementation. The other thing is trade-off, right? So with innovation, oftentimes comes trade-off. We need to break the paradigm that was set years ago that when you have sustainability elements into your product, you're somehow losing something. And so we look at this kind of as a Venn diagram, and it's that intersection point in between where we're exciting customers with new innovations, at the same time doing it responsibly.
That's great. What's one big takeaway that you'd like to leave the audience with today about Samsung's sustainability efforts?
Just that efficiency is kind of the redheaded stepchild of climate change, right? I am so glad that we're all here and we're talking about this topic. It's really been an underserved aspect of our solution set. And so everything that we can do to dial up the message around efficiency, and I mean efficiency writ large. Efficiency is energy efficiency, it's also resource efficiency. And I think that's really what drives our programs. That's the focal point for our operations and really the message that needs to get out there. And I'm really glad that the COP had a focus on that this time. The more that we can start talking about that, the better. Whether you agree with climate change or not, you can't disagree with avoiding waste. And so it's one of those things that's an easy conversation to have with everyone, and it's the right thing to do. I hope I'm wrong about climate change. I really do. But if we do everything we need to do to be efficient, then we're going to be in a better place no matter what.
Mark, thank you so much for your insights and for all the work that Samsung's doing.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.